Your budget's not working, and I'm going to tell you the 3 reasons why. Hey, budget besties. I'm Coach B from Young, Rich, and Rooted, and I help women become financially unfuckwittable. And that sounds like something you want to be? Then hit the like button and follow. I'm going to get into 3 reasons why your budget hasn't been working for you, the most common reasons. And then I'm going to give you 3 ways that you can fix this problem. Stick with me to the very end, and I'm going to give you a free tool just for showing how committed you are to your financial growth by watching the entire video. So stick with me. First reason why most people's budgets don't work, it's not realistic. Most people's budgets are filled with just their fixed expenses, the predictable things, the things we know that are coming, our utility bills, our rent, our cable bill, our cell phone bill, our water bill. We put those things on our budget. We might add a little bit of cushion room for groceries and eating out. But for the most part, that's all we put on our budget. And then we wonder why it didn't work. It's not working because that's not how your real life works. Your real life is full of unexpected events, some predictable, but not recurring events that you are not budgeting and planning for. The second reason your budget isn't working is because the budgets that most people create don't help you plan ahead. If you Google budget right now, 90% of the budgets that you're going to come up with are going to look like some variation of this. It's going to have income minus expenses equal what's left over. And let me tell you something, that's helpful, but I would consider that more of a cash flow statement, not a budget, because knowing how much money you're supposed to have coming in and how much money you're supposed to have coming out for just 1 month doesn't really help you think about months down the line. So that's the second problem. The third problem is your budget's not really motivating. When you do a budget and you really can't see your wins, like you're making progress, you're making small steps forward, but you really can't see where you've made them, you start to feel like maybe this isn't working and you just kind of give up before you really get started, right? If you've been like that, if you started budgeting before and just didn't feel like you were really making progress and so you just quit, go ahead and let me know in the comments. The other thing is if you're budgeting and it's not helping you see threats out there, obstacles, things that are going to set you back, you feel defeated before you even get started. And so you just give up. So if your budget is not allowing you to be able to see wins and see threats, it's not going to be very motivating. So I'm going to give you the ways to fix all 3 of these problems. For step number 1, which was it's not a realistic budget. What you're going to do to resolve that issue is you are going to examine your real life. I want you to pull out a calendar and map out your year. I know this sounds crazy because you don't know everything that's going to pop up throughout the year, but you do know quite a bit. And the more that you can prepare, the less often you're going to have pop-up expenses that are completely derail your plans, right? So we know Christmas is coming, you know your child's birthday is coming, you know back to school shopping is going to happen, you know you're going on vacation, you know Thanksgiving is coming, you know that you have to have an oil change every 3 or 4 months. Not really sure which one of those it is, but however frequently it is that you have to get your car oil change, right? You know those things are coming. You may have a water bill that comes not every month, but it comes every 2 or 3 months. You can put those things on your calendar and you can plan out exactly what that's going to cost or estimate what you think that's going to cost. So what I want you to do is pull out your calendar, write those things down, and then I want you to consider things like routine maintenance on your home and vehicle. I want you to put a dollar item next to each of these things, whether it's an event, a trip, a holiday, or a repair that you're expecting to, or maintenance that you're expecting to have done. I want you to put a dollar amount on it. And then I want you to add up what that total is for the year. And then with that total, what you're going to do is you're going to divide it by 12. And that's the amount of money roughly you should be putting aside at a minimum every single month. What this is going to do for you is going to allow you to create some sort of structure and predictability and ease with your budget. So you're budgeting for your regular big expenses that you know already. You're putting away money for food and eating out. And now you're also putting away, and this is usually the missing part from everyone's budget, you're putting away money for those incidental pop-up expenses that could come up. These are not emergencies. These are real life events that we just simply don't prepare for that become emergencies because we're not prepared for them, okay? So you're going to put that money aside every single month so that when the expense pops up, it doesn't derail your plans. You don't suddenly need to make more income that month to cover the expense. You're simply going to move that money from your savings accounts to your checking account to pay the expense when it comes up, okay? So to solve problem number 2, it doesn't help you plan ahead. Budgeting for more than just 1 month is important. As I said before, being able to see more than what you're doing this month helps you to be able to see what's left over and in future months that you need to plan for. So what I want you to do is I want you to budget out at least 3 to 6 months. The way you're going to do this is as you're doing your income minus expenses, equal what's left over, I want you to carry the what's left over into the next month and then planning out your bills for that month so you can see how much needs to be covered. You're going to do that for 3 to 6 months out, and you're going to add into this budget all those monthly events. So remember, you sat down and you made that calendar. Here's the time where you're going to throw in those events where they belong, because now you're going to get to see which months they're affecting you in, and if you have enough money covering it. And if you don't, now you know you need that carryover money and you can't just spend it. Hope that makes sense to you, right? Last step is number 3. It's not motivating. Doing the previous step is what's going to help you with this last step. Being able to see your money for a few weeks or months at a time can help you see threats coming. And just knowing that a threat is coming, that there's an expense that's coming far enough ahead where you can make adjustments, like work an extra couple of hours of overtime to cover it, is going to motivate you to actually work the extra overtime, right? If you know that you're only going to be $20 off 3 weeks from now, you're going to overdraft your account if you don't work an extra hour of overtime, you're going to work an extra hour overtime. Conversely, you also want to be motivated by seeing your wins. If you're looking at your budget and you can see that you have plenty of money left over and you have been working overtime or after overtime because you're afraid that you're going to run out of money, now you know for sure you're not going to. And you can afford to say yes to, I'm not working extra this weekend. I'm taking the day off. I deserve it. It's not going to affect my balance. I'm going to be able to pay all my bills, and I'm still going to be able to save for things that are important to you. So hopefully you found that helpful. If you have, please let me know in the comments. Show me some love. Tag a friend. Don't be selfish. Tag a friend who needs to hear this information. Now, everything that is simple isn't always easy. And so this is the last part I want to talk to you about before I tell you what I'm giving you for free. You know, we all know to eat right and exercise, right? That's simple. Those instructions are simple, but it's not always easy. The motivation for why we're not eating right and exercising can be complicated. The same is true with your money. We know to spend less than what we make, but the reasons why we're not doing them are sometimes complicated. So if you're finding yourself listening to these steps and you're like, this sounds like simple, but you feel in your gut that it's not going to be easy for you and you're going to need some help and some accountability, reach out to me, schedule a Q&A call so we can talk about what financial coaching would look like for you. Maybe it's something that you would need, and I can help support you through this journey, right? Because having a strategy is one thing, implementation is something else. Strategy is about 10% of success. Execution is 90% of it, okay? So if you need help with the execution, let me know. If you're like, a spreadsheet, a budget, I don't even know where to begin, again, reach out to me, let me know so I can help you with that. Now, you've got the tips for why your budgets are not working. It's not realistic. It doesn't help you plan ahead. It's not motivating. You know how to address these 3 things. Create a calendar of your life plans. Attach a dollar sign to them. Divide them by 12. Make sure you're budgeting for 3 to 6 months out. And make sure you're using that budget that's giving you the 3 to 6 month view to find your wins and your threats so that you can stay motivated to continue doing it. Now, what I'm going to give you for free, just for watching to the very end, is I am going to give you a spreadsheet that I created to help you figure out what the cost of your year is going to be. It is my pop-up calendar, right? It is my pop-up planner. It will help you map out all the random things that happen throughout the year and how much they cost. And it even has the formulas built into it to help you figure out what that's going to cost you per month to set aside in your savings account for these expenses. So it is my pop-up calendar, right? It is my pop-up planner. It will help you map. If that's something that would help you, the link is in the description. If it helped you out, please let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe if you want more information like this. And don't be selfish. Sell me with a friend. Until next time, Budget Besties, stay young and rich and rooted. Keep growing because I'm growing too. Bye. That's not it. Your budget's not working, and I'm about to tell you the 3 reasons why. Raisins.